Hello everybody, it is Aspasia and this is my channel asparagusisreading, where I talk mainly about books but to talk about other things. Today we're going to be talking about books, of course. If you haven't seen the title or the thumbnail, today I'm going to be talking about my December 2021 TBR. To be quite honest, I'm very surprised I'm even making a TBR because I'm very moody and I tend not to stick to them whatsoever. But all of these books I do think I'm going to stick to because I've already started majority of them. I'm like a couple of chapters into each. I'm enjoying all of them, and they're all books that I've been meaning to read this year, and so I'm hopeful. Yeah, let's just get into this because I really don't have anything else to say. So the first things first, we're gonna get this group out of the way. I want to read 5 of my NetGalley books. I've been talking about this all year. I've been talking about last year, talking about it on my Instagram, my TikTok. I want to finish my NetGalley books. But I'm telling you, every time I make this goal, I only read like 1. And when I decide to read other things other than NetGalley, I read like 6. I don't understand what's going on. Like, I don't understand math. Like, what are we doing? There's so many math in here. So, I'm hoping to read at least 5 NetGalley books next month. The reason for that is, like I said earlier, I've already started a couple of them because I couldn't decide which one I wanted to read last month. And I'm really enjoying them so far. And also because the 5 that I've started already are in different genres. Like, one's contemporary, I think one is a fantasy, I think another one is a fantasy, I think the other one is like a non-fiction, and the other one's contemporary. So I have a different, I could pick either or out of the group if I'm tired of fantasy, or if I don't really want to read any more of the physical books, I can just go to my ebook. I tend to read ebooks faster, so there's really no excuse. But as long as I can finish 5 of those, I'll be happy if I finish 3. 3 is fine. I can do 3. But 5 will be golden. I just really want to read 5. And the good thing about that is, one of the physical books that I do plan to read in December is actually on NetGalley, so I could automatically just knock that out. So, let's get on to the physical books. So the first one we have here is a sequel, and that is Our Violent Ends by Chloe Gong. I read These Violent Delights a couple months ago as a buddy read. Don't really know if we're going to be buddy reading this one together, so I'm going to have to like DM her and ask to see what she's up to. But I really want to get to this one because I've been seeing a lot of hype about it since it just came out. Everyone's reading it now. People talking about how it has them in a chokehold, talking about how obsessed they are, how this one is better than the first one, how Chloe does not have the audacity to be doing this. Basically just off the rails, all good ratings, super surprised, really enjoying this, hooked, in love, favorite. We love to see it. So if this is that good and hooks you in is just as good as the first one, I need to read it today. And then Chloe Gong has recently announced that she is writing a Cleopatra and somebody else series. I want to say series, but I feel like it's going to just be a duology. I'm excited. And then I believe there's going to be like somewhat of a spin-off, or at least a story about a character from this duology. Listen, Chloe Gong is just feeding us all the content, and I'm excited. And These Violent Delights duology is basically a Romeo and Juliet inspired retelling, and it basically follows Roma and Juliet, who are in 1920s Shanghai, China. They are part of 2 rival gangs, and I believe they're also exes. And they're doing their rival gang stuff. When they are forced to work together because of a monster/plague that is going through their town and destroying their gang. If they don't work together, things aren't going to go very well. And the way that book 2 ended, why wasn't this out immediately? This is one of those books, like, I highly recommend waiting until this next book is out because you want to read it immediately. I can't stand when you read a book in a series and you want the next one immediately and it's not out yet. This was that moment. Now that I have it, kind of tempted to reread, but we'll see. The next book I want to read, I've already talked about in one of my previous videos I uploaded, and that is Starfish by Kimmy Dawn Bowman. This I got as a gift, and I've heard a lot about this from Books with Chloe recently and last year. I just really want to read this. I don't know what it is, but like I saw this on my Amazon list recently, and I was like, wow, like this was just calling my name, right? And next thing you know, it's on my doorstep, and I was like, this must be a sign. This must be a sign. And then I saw it on someone's feed post recently, and I was like, this is definitely a sign that I need to read this immediately. So I'm gonna be picking this up soon. This basically follows Kiko Himura, that is going through life, having a hard time. I believe they are like partially Japanese, or they're like half Japanese heritage, and they're trying to understand their heritage. Their abusive family member moves back in. She's dealing with things with school and old friendships, going through family, basically just trying to find herself in her crazy wild life as a lot of things are coming to a head. And sound like a very emotional, powerful, impactful story that I am ready to read. I really want to read it, so I'm waiting for like that moment where I'm like very moody and I just want to like increase the moody. So this is definitely going to be that book. The next book I want to read, which I've also talked about in previous TBRs and on Instagram and have yet to read, is One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. This is Casey McQuiston's second book. Their third one comes out next year. This one follows two women who meet on a subway train, I think in New York. I believe one of them is like stuck on the train, something to do with like time travel and magic and curses, and the other one, meets them and they fall in love. That's pretty much all I know about it. This is something I just really wanted to read because women, gay, New York. That's really all we need to know. Also, with Casey McQuiston, I really enjoyed their first book, and I highly anticipate really enjoying this one. I will be honest, their third book, I don't think I'm as interested in as the first two. I think it's just because it has more of a mystery thriller element to it, and I'm like, kind of slowly moving away from thrillers right now. And my last physical read for December is Gilded by Marissa Meyer. I've already started this. I think I'm like 15% of the way through, if I remember correctly. This is Marissa Meyer's recent release. This came out in November, like early November. I am obsessed with Marissa Meyer, and I cannot be more excited for this one because this is another retelling, and we all know Marissa Meyer is the queen and very well known for her retelling. So this one is a Rumpelstiltskin retelling. This is about a woman named Sorella who is known for telling stories and spinning stories, and one day she tells a real elaborate story about the Earl King, and he is not happy. He's pissed. He's not okay with it. And so I think he takes her to the kingdom, and as a punishment, he tasks her to spin some gold. So now she's like, okay, so how am I gonna get myself out of this situation? She ends up running into this mysterious boy, this mysterious man, which I anticipate is gonna be Rumple. And they're gonna end up working together to somehow spin this gold and get herself out of the situation. I'm excited because this is giving me very many Once Upon a Time vibes. And I'm here for it. And I really like that the main characters, from what I've heard, is like a hero slash villain. Like they do a little bit of both. And I'm like, love to see it. Give me more. It's Marissa Meyer, so it's obviously going to be good. The last two books I want to read in December are going to be on Libby. As far as I know of, from my last update, these are the only two that will be coming in December. The rest of them are like 16-week delays, so I highly doubt anything else is coming through Libby on December, but there might be. And the first one is The Christmas Wish by Sharon Sala. This is book 12 in her Blessings Georgia series. To be quite honest, I'm surprised the series is still going. Like, I've been reading since, I don't even know. I've been reading it for a couple of years now, and she writes multiple a year, I think, and it's starting to slow down. But Blessings Georgia series is basically about a small town named Blessing, Georgia, where a lot of people go through life and they fall in love or reconnect with family and things like that. This particular one is about Wade Montgomery, who was coming back to Blessings, Georgia after some craziness has happened with his family that almost destroyed the family legacy, like the family business or something like that. And so he is, trying to fix that, get everything back in order, get everything good to go, reconnect with family. One day he lays eyes on a woman named Birdie, who was also a very old friend before he moved Blessings, or moved from Blessings. So sparks ignite. So that is the one that I'd like to read. Also, it's perfect because December, Christmas, holidays, Christmas Wish. Actually, I think it's the only book on my TBR that has anything to do with Christmas, which is a little sad, but if I do pretty good with my TBR, I'm gonna try to throw in some more Christmas books. And the next book and the last book that I'm gonna be reading is Donut Fall in Love by Jackie Lau. So this is a book I've seen on a couple other TBRs and in posts recently, and I've been really excited to read it. And then it popped up on Libby, and I was like, put on hold. Put it on hold right now. We're getting it. First of all, I'm a pun queen. We love puns. We love to see it. My personal Instagram, a lot of my posts have a pun. My friend thinks it's weird, but also she's like, it's better than like a boring caption. So I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Puns are fun. I think they're fun. Dad jokes are fun. Sometimes to be a little dry though, but they're fun. Okay. So this, I believe, is about a man named Ryan who is an actor who has come home after a death in the family and wants to help the family, support them, get them back on their feet, and go through this grief together. He ends up going into this bakery that is owned by the female main character, the love interest, and he accidentally knocks over some of her specialty donuts. And I guess, from my understanding, the relationship has a bit of a rocky, messy start. It might have a little bit of a rivalry there, or maybe not necessarily a rivalry, more like you're a pain in the butt, you're annoying, go away, but also like, I'm interested in you, tell me more what's going on. And I believe that Ryan's up signing up for a new episode of a show that has to do with baking, and so somehow the two of them come together to kind of work on that. I think she ended up like teaching him or helping him how to do some baking stuff before the show, and I'm very curious to see how that goes because it sounds like a really cute premise to right there. And so that is all the books that I plan to read in December. As of right now, that is like 12 books, I think, which I think is pretty doable. I would just say for the most part, the fantasies might slow me down because I haven't been super into fantasies recently, but we'll see. Maybe not. Honestly, I'd be surprised if I read more than 5 on this TBR anyway, because I'd be switching up my TBR every 30 seconds. Let me know what books that you're reading in December. I'm very curious what you're reading. If you're interested in possibly buddy reading, let me know. If you're reading any Christmas books, also let me know about that, because I'm curious about some Christmas books to read to get myself in the mood. I might do a reread of The Afterlife of Holly Chase. I think I've read that like 2 years in a row now. Wouldn't hurt to add a third. Honestly, I might do it. I might do that actually. We'll see. It really just depends on like how my TBR is going, how I'm feeling. So yeah, leave a donut emoji, just because we were talking about donut fall in love. Leave a donut emoji down below. And thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you for love and support, all of that jazz. And have a good day, good night, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and whatever time it is where you are, and goodbye.